Hi there, Velvets! Welcome to the very first episode of Peryton Pages, where I share the books I've been reading from my cozy corner of the Walloon Forest. And since it's October, I thought we'd start with something a little spooky. So, grab your blanket, a mug of tea, and maybe a nightlight, because tonight I'm talking about some of my favorite horror and creepy reads. Let's start with one of my all-time favorites, World War Z by Max Brooks. If you've only seen the movie, I promise you, the book is completely different, and honestly, about 1,000 times better. It's what's called an epistolary novel, meaning it's told through interviews, journals, and reports instead of a traditional narrative. Each chapter is a first-hand account from a survivor of what they call the zombie war. The war is already over, humanity won, but the book goes back and reconstructs how everything fell apart and how people survived. It starts small, whispers of strange infections, missing people, isolated attacks by governments that tried to downplay or cover up. Then, like any good slow burn apocalypse, things start spiraling. Brooks absolutely nails the realism, from political denial to misinformation to corporations making fake miracle cures. And he gives every voice so much life. There's a man in India describing the chaos as he flees to the docks, a suburban American mom fending off a ghoul that crashes through her window and attacks her children, smarmy CEO who profits off fake vaccines and hides in comfort while the world burns. Every perspective feels real and different from the last. It moves through the stages of the outbreak, the early confusion, the Great Panic, the societal collapse, and eventually the long, grueling push to take the world back. And that's what makes it stick with me. It's not just zombies bad, humans fight back. It's a study of people and how fragile we are, and how strong we can be when everything falls apart. One of my favorite chapters is about a pilot who crash lands into a zombie-infested swamp. She's injured, disoriented, and the story turns into this claustrophobic nightmare survival sequence. I read that part late at night in bed with only my bedside lamp on, and there was a moment where she hears something behind her, and I swear I had to put the book down because I was too freaked out to turn the page. It's that immersive. If you like realism mixed with horror, or if you like seeing humanity rebuilds, World War Z is perfect. Next up is a newer one, Scourge Between the Stars by Ness Brown. If you're a fan of Alien, like the first two movies, or Alien Isolation, the game, you'll love this. It's a sci-fi horror novella, which means it's short, fast-paced, and wastes no time throwing you into space terror. The setup? You have a spaceship limping through deep space, systems failing, crew on edge, and something has gotten aboard. It has that perfect mix of isolation and dread, the kind where every sound makes you tense up, and you start thinking, okay, maybe I'll just never go to space. What I really appreciated, though, is how tight it is. Ness Brown doesn't waste words. It's just the right length. You get a full, satisfying arc without pages of filler or drawn-out exposition. It's one of those stories you can read in a single sitting, which honestly is my favorite kind of horror book. If you like creature horror with a sci-fi twist, or just want a quick, punchy scare, this one's a gem. Okay, T. Kingfisher. I could probably fill an entire episode just talking about her books. She has such a talent for writing stories that are both funny and deeply unsettling. Let's start with The Twisted Ones. The main character goes to clean out her late grandmother's house and discovers weird journals that mention the Twisted Ones. And of course, she finds out they're very, very real. There's this one scene that lives rent-free in my head. She wakes up in the middle of the night, looks out her window, and sees something staring in. She knows if she moves, it'll see her move, so she just stays still. Completely still. That frozen in fear moment hits me every time. It reminds me of the old creepypasta, like The Rake, that primal something's watching me and I can't even breathe fear. Then there's The Hollow Places, which is about a woman who finds a mysterious portal in the walls of her uncle's museum. It leads to this nightmare landscape, a kind of in-between place filled with invisible creatures that notice you the moment you think about them. I don't even remember every plot detail, but that atmosphere stuck with me. That feeling of something beyond understanding, watching from the edges of reality. And the idea that thinking about it too hard makes it worse. Yeah, I'd be doomed in the first 5 minutes. T. Kingfisher's horror is that special blend of funny, relatable, and quietly terrifying. Like she knows exactly what thought will make you lose sleep later. Now, if you like your horror a little more scientific, let me tell you about Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. The premise is so good. A research vessel is sent to the Mariana Trench to prove or disprove the existence of mermaids, because years earlier, a mockumentary crew went there and never came back. It's got marine biology, journalism, corporate greed, and, of course, horrifyingly real mermaids. They're not sparkly. They're predatory, alien, and absolutely terrifying. What I loved about this book is how much detail goes into the science. Like, it actually feels plausible. If mermaids existed, this is how we discover them. And this is how it would go terribly wrong. It's long, and I'll admit, Mira Grant is a bit of an overwriter. There are paragraphs that probably could have been trimmed, but I still devoured it. Every time I told myself, okay, one more chapter. And suddenly it was 2 in the morning. If you're into creature horror, ocean settings, or stories that blend science and fear, this one's worth diving into. Just maybe don't read it right before a boat trip. So, those are a few of my spooky reads for this season. Now I want to know your favorites. What horror books do you love? Do you prefer monsters, haunted houses, psychological terror, or something totally out there? And if you've read any of the ones I mentioned, I'd love to know your thoughts, especially if you had a moment like me, reading late at night and suddenly realizing you're too scared to turn the page. You can leave your recommendations in the comments or tag me on social media. I'd love to add them to my October reading list. Thank you for spending a cozy little reading night with me here on Peryton Pages. If you enjoyed this video, you can find more of me on my other series, Peryton Pillow Talk for ASMR and Peryton Plays for gaming. But for now, I hope you have sweet dreams, good books, and maybe just a little chill down your spine before you fall asleep. Good night, and happy reading!